Welcome to Will It Banh Mi, the show where we take classic global dishes and figure out, will it banh mi? And today we are trying a roasted chicken dinner. Roasted carrots, the veg, the spread, the gravy. We want to know, can we put that inside of a banh mi and can it be delicious? Get ready. This is a banh mi. For me, what is a banh mi? And I may not necessarily agree with the dictionary definition. A banh mi literally just is bread. And I think a lot of people would think that it has to have pate. That's not true either, although pate is wonderful and I love it. For me, the banh mi has to have a shadowy, crispy bread. It has to be a balanced sandwich that includes some freshness and pickles and herbs of some kind, and that's kind of it. Here's a challenge with the banh mi. So the crust to me is super important. The crackle of the crust. Things I've learned. Heat, moisture are our enemy. The bread gets soggy quick. Very risky. And my hope is that we're gonna take some garlic, we're gonna confit it as we're doing this stream today, and at the end we'll puree this, and hopefully we'll get a pate-like spread. I got the garlic, I got some olive oil. Besides for the olive oil, I also want to do a little bit of butter. So hopefully this is going to give us some toasty notes, creamy notes. But I want to get this started first so this garlic has time to really take its time and cook. I'm not trying to fry the garlic, I'm trying to roast, aka confit the garlic. So this should be about an hour of time. Kyle, the new kitchen is awesome. Thank you. I agree. It's pretty freaking cool. I really like it. By the way, we are streaming live on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. We're doing a little bit of salt in our garlic. Throw this garlic right over my pilot just to get some heat under it first. We're gonna do a little bit of rosemary. This is very similar to kind of like making caramelized onions, where we're not trying to make fried onions, high heat. We're trying to make caramelized onions or like a garlic confit. Low heat, slow caramelization, slow development of browning. And that just gives you a much more gentle sort of flavor. And now I'm gonna cover this with aluminum foil. Throw this in my oven at low temperature. Okay, garlic's in. For the Sunday roast, I think it has to have potato. I don't think there's really a way to get out of not doing the potato, especially if you're in the UK. How are we gonna make this happen? One thought was to make mashed potatoes, but what I'm thinking about now is to kind of go with the roasted potato. So I wanna peel them, boil them until they're starting to break apart, and then fry them super crispy. So we have this creamy interior with moisture and crispy, crunchy exterior. Because the bread is already crispy, you don't wanna have too much crunch, too much crisp going on because the bread's already there. So I think I'm gonna cut them on the larger sides, make sure you have enough moisture content on the inside to still give it that creamy effect. Beautiful piece of rosemary. Season that water up. And maybe even a little bit of shallots because I got them and they're starting to go. So let's throw some shallots in there. And another little trick we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit of baking soda into the water. Kind of helps for the edge of the potato to break down. So the potato edges get a little bit more jagged. And then when they fry, they get a little bit more crispy. They have more surface area. You don't have to do it, but it does help. It does help for sure. Next, we're gonna deal with the chicken. These are chicken thighs and chicken legs that are already deboned. Skin on, but deboned. I'm just gonna go through and double check the cleaning of it because I can already feel some bone fragments in here. Make sure they look good. Skin looks good on these. I'm gonna put these skin side down in my pan. All right, we're gonna make a seasoning blend for this chicken and we're gonna try to make it super Sunday roasty. So I got salt in here. I'm just imagining like I'm seasoning all these chicken breasts. Like how much salt would I use? I should be pretty close to proper seasoning. Some pepper. Dry thyme, if I had fresh, I'd use it. I don't. Not crucial, but super, super welcome to any Sunday roast. I got some rosemary. This is the rosemary from last week, so this one's dry. So I'm just gonna pull it and crush it in my fingers. Okay, last thing I wanna do is some lemon zest. Okay, so we have this seasoned salt now, all of our favorites for a roast. I'm just gonna season the meat side. I'm not gonna season the skin side. The skin side I'm gonna try to fry nice and crispy, so I don't wanna have anything on the skin side that's gonna burn. I'm gonna flip these over, trying not to dirty up the skin, keeping the skin nice and untouched. Because as this sits, the salt's gonna draw a lot of moisture, which would then get the skin even wetter, and we're trying to sear the skin, so we want the skin to crisp up and dry out. Let me wash my hands, keep this nice and clean. So something I'm gonna be aware of today is with the chicken, I don't wanna put it in the bread when it's too hot. I almost wanna have the chicken room temperature. So that's something I'm gonna be aware of today. A common chef technique, restaurant technique for roasting any sort of protein. We sear in the pan first, we finish in the oven. We're gonna fry the chicken skin side down. And for this particular style, I'm not gonna try to go super high heat. We're gonna go about medium low heat, really take our time to crisp the skin. And you'll see I'm not even really gonna flip this. I'm gonna put this on the skin side down nearly the whole time. The skin should get really crispy. The top should just barely get warm, and then we'll flip it and kiss it on the other side for a second, and that'll be it. Maybe a mistake that a lot of people will make. young cooks or newbie cooks is overcrowding the pan. You need to make sure you have a big enough pan to not overcrowd your space. Pan gets too cold, moisture gets pulled out, you don't get that sear, that crisp you're looking for. That's why I have my biggest pan for this type of thing. And if I didn't have a pan of this size and I had this much chicken to cook, I would have to do it in 2 different pans or in 2 different batches. So we can see the chicken obviously is not cooked yet. We're still completely raw chicken. The skin is sticking to the pan a little bit, but that's no problem. So I'm gonna let this sit here for another probably 30 seconds. Let me just check the garlic in the oven. So this is that garlic that we started early in the stream. I smell it, it's super aromatic, so it's probably bubbling and looking good. Smelling quite amazing. Actually, you smell that, Tang. That smells pretty amazing. Holy cannoli. So let's see if this is squeezable. It's super melty. That's done. Beautiful. Now the chicken, I'm gonna go straight in the oven, and we're gonna let this slowly roast in the oven now for the next 10 minutes. In my brain, a banh mi always has some sort of freshness involved, some sort of vegetable component. I'm not trying to do the typical daikon radish carrot pickle. We wanna make the Sunday roast pickle. That's the idea here. So we're gonna make a quick sort of pickle, slaw, fresh vegetable sort of component. We're basically gonna make like a salad with the carrots and the green beans. Carrots I'm gonna cut relatively thin because these are gonna be raw. I want the texture to be nice and thin. We got our shredded carrots. I'm gonna throw these in a bowl, and I'm just gonna salt them quickly so they soften up. Same thing you would do with a cucumber to pull out moisture and to slightly change the textures. But the green beans I do wanna blanch for a second. So I'm not even gonna blanch, I'm not even rather gonna shock these. I'm just gonna pull them out and let them cool. The potatoes are tender now, and I don't wanna go too much on them. I don't want them breaking apart. And I'm gonna let these just steam out. I want the moisture to get off the potato. We're gonna try to fry them crispy, so moisture is the enemy. The green beans I'm gonna cut long ways, similar thinness or thickness rather to the carrots. Green bean in. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of fresh rosemary because I just thought of it, and let's just keep reinforcing this rosemary flavor. All the other rosemary we're encountering today is gonna be toasted and roasted and fried. So this will be the only one that's gonna be raw, so it will just kind of give us a different element. And I think don't be afraid to use your seasonings multiple ways. Every component can bring out a different element of that particular ingredient or that particular aroma, so don't be afraid to kind of reinforce it. Nothing wrong with that. All right, lemon zest in here as well. So this is gonna be our acidic component for the day. This is gonna act as our douchur. So I want this to be pretty aggressively sour with the lemon. But in terms of the roast chicken, this is our side vegetables. This is the roasted carrots, the stir-fried green beans with garlic. Oh, I forgot, I'm gonna put some garlic oil in here. That's a great idea. Again, reinforcing flavors, reinforcing flavors. I'm gonna cut some shallots and throw it in here as well. A little bit of sugar in here, not much. I'm not trying to make this sweet, I'm just trying to balance it. And I'm gonna put a little bit of fish sauce in here because it's a banh mi. But it's looking good. This should be a nice component. This should give us that freshness that I'm looking for with a banh mi. That's pretty good. I like it. Wow. I don't know. You don't expect the Western flavor. I didn't expect the Western flavor when I'm eating it, but the Western flavor is coming out and it's nice. Let's check out this chicken. Okay. We can see the chicken is looking roasted on the top. It's totally cooked through. Let's see what the skin side looks like. Not good. I'll tell you what happened here. The oven was too low of a temperature. So what happened was the moisture got pulled out of the chicken. So instead of searing on the bottom, it steamed on the bottom. A little bit of a problem. Let's see if we can solve that. I have the heat turned up now. I'm a little bit nervous if I'm honest with you. If I tried to move it right now, we'd be in trouble. I'm not gonna try to move it. I'm gonna try to reduce this moisture, slowly bring it up, not too high of a temperature so it doesn't burn. And we gotta get the skin crispy. And we'll kind of keep the fat moving around. I know if I was a younger cook, less experienced cook, I would be really struggling with this. I wouldn't work, I'd be too eager. But I think if I'm patient and I go slow, it'll be okay. Maybe even great. Really, just heat is gonna make the moisture evaporate, and that's all we're gonna need to do. We just need to be patient. All right, I guess while this is working, why don't we try to smash up this garlic? We're gonna throw it into our mortar and pestle to get that paste going. I might add a little bit of mayonnaise to it. I want it to be more spread-like, more pate-like. Oh wow, that's good, man. I haven't had roasted garlic in a long time. What a flavor bomb. I'm gonna add a little bit of mayonnaise in here. So I wanna make sure I add some water to balance out the amount of fat that's in here. Otherwise the mayonnaise is gonna split once it gets in here. This kind of smells fantastic. I gotta be honest, it smells pretty freaking incredible. The mayonnaise is really just gonna stretch this out for me. Give me a little bit more of an even base. All right, I think I might even put this in the refrigerator to try to get it nice and cool. And we will kick up the heat and finish this skin out so we can get this done with and eat, because I'm hungry now. Ooh, see, patience. Patience is a virtue. Look at that skin getting there. That skin should be really developed now in terms of texture. How do you know the chicken is just right, cooked but moist? It's hard to just describe it. It's really a touch and feel. The cheat code is to use dark meat. It's very hard to make dark meat dry. But really it's about touching it over and over again and feeling it over years and having it developing that finger sense. So, you know, if we were side by side and you were in the kitchen with me, it's very easy for me to say, hey, touch this, touch this, touch this. You see that? Touch it again, touch it again. But online, it's definitely more difficult to express that. All right, so I'm gonna start pulling these off, and then with their space now that will be in the pan, skin side up, I'm gonna start throwing in my potatoes so they can start frying. If they were wet, I'd be dealing with a lot more sizzle going on. But with the dry potato, we shouldn't have too much sizzle to deal with. But so now we have these potatoes cooking in this fat. They should be really flavorful. And I'm also trying to move the potatoes around to try to pick up all that fond and get all that flavor. Starting to pick that up a little bit, that's great. Okay, so let's pull these out. Beautiful. Ow, so hot. So hot. We're gonna be very aware of temperature. We don't want things too hot inside the banh mi, otherwise they will make the bread soggy. And I'm gonna throw these bad boys into a pan. Then I'm gonna take some of the chicken fat, throw it on back of the oven as hot as it gets. Now, we're gonna take a little bit of flour. We're gonna fry this flour in the pan, in the chicken fat, without burning the fond. There's so much fond on this pan now. I don't know if you can see all these crispies in here. There's a lot of bits. There's a lot of flavor in this pan, and I'm not gonna lose it. This could be the secret sauce that makes this banh mi a banger. And I'm gonna add a little bit of water at a time, trying to hit all the different parts. And we're just trying to scrape up all the fond. At this moment in this pan, this is a really thick gravy. But again, moisture is my enemy inside of a banh mi, so I'm actually gonna leave this on the thick side. A little bit of salt, a little bit of fish sauce. Okay, so this gravy is getting very pate-like. That's not exactly how I expected it to be, but actually I think this is kind of cool. Oh, it's good. Okay. All right, I'm excited now. Give me these guys, let these cool down a second. Again, heat is my enemy. I don't want the potatoes to be steaming inside the bread. I'm gonna kind of put a little puncture in the potatoes now so they can start steaming now. Hello, are you hungry? Perfect, we're gonna have a good chicken sandwich, baby. I got high hopes. I think it's really cool. I think it's gonna be a very, very, very unique banh mi. We about to assemble. We are about to find out. Will it banh mi?
Let's assemble!
Oh my. Spread the gravy, our pate gravy on one side. I didn't expect this to happen, but this is a bonus. That's pretty cool.
I feel like this will be amazing.
Liam, it might be. All right, then we're gonna go roasted garlic butter on the other side. Double-sided, double flavor. Let's do chicken, chicken, chicken. Potatoes, as I said, I'm gonna kind of smash them. Better distribution. I want the steam to be fully out of there. Okay, happy with that. Next, last, the salad.
Oh, that looks good.
I like the look. I like the style. I mean, I think it's a cool thing. I present to you the Sunday roast chicken banh mi. Looking pretty cool. What an applause! An audience applause! I love it. Okay, bada bing, young children. And we got a rating score for them when they get in there.
And this is the best banh mi you ever made.
This is the best banh mi I ever made. Do you really believe that?
I can't say that, but it's definitely top 10.
Top 10, huh? I can't keep my words down too much. It's good. It's really good. The rosemary, the thyme, it's excellent. It really comes through. This is roasted chicken dinner. It hits it. It hits it hard. You like it, Liam?
Amazing.
Amazing. 9.3 from Tree.
I just don't like the green beans, that's all. What?
You don't like the green bean.
I like the green beans.
JD, you got a number? A 10, a 10, a double 10. Is that 100 or is that a 20 or what is that? Just 10, 10. 20. Tang, you got any words?
Everything about the banh mi is great. It's close to a grilled chicken banh mi.
Yeah.
With all the Western spice.
A 9. With the question of the day, will it banh mi? It's a 10, bro. This is a banger of a sandwich. I love it. Chicken's cooked super well. It has all the characteristics I need for a banh mi. And it really does taste like a roasted Sunday chicken dinner meal. Really love that last minute addition of that quick pan gravy. I think that worked out well. I think it gave us a pate vibe. Let's bring this to an end. Time to clean up. I'm gonna make another one for me to eat because I really did like the sandwich. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, have a great day. Peace. Do something, build something, be unique. Peace, bye.